decided to continue to go live as we're working on our chakra project. So if you are new to the channel, we create with all recycled materials, fabrics, and supplies. And we work heavily in historical cultural arts, using the methods of ancient cultures. And this one is Boro Sashiko that we're working with today on a Japanese utility apron. So if you're coming back to the channel, thank you for coming back. I appreciate your viewpoints, your suggestions, your comments, all of it. It really keeps us going and it inspires each other in the community. So before we get going, we're just going to recap quickly the colors of chakra. So people who are familiar with may or may not know. And then what I did is I pulled up on my laptop here some ideas for confirmations for yellow, because yellow is enlightenment, empowerment, confidence, all of that. And so to give you ideas on what you can, maybe do your own affirmations or create your own affirmations on. So this is, okay, so really quick recap. The red is safety and protection. And when you're stitching or whatnot, you may be thinking of something like, I have the right to be safe, or people around me have a right to be safe in their space. Usually you're focusing on yourself, but you certainly can include others, your community, whatever you want to meditate on. Your country. Our country has, help our country to a place of higher safety, something like that. So that's what the red is. The orange is creativity and inspiration, and it is more, but those are the basics. So as an artist, being creative is it's super inspiring, when you're creating or you get a vision of what you want to create. So the next color for the chakra is right above our creativity. The orange is the yellow. So this is the one we're working on today, and we may even go into the green. So we'll be focusing on the yellow, which is enlightenment, empowerment, confidence, all of those things that a lot of people actually do struggle with for many, many, many reasons in our daily, our daily lives in our society in general. The confidence can be very easily knocked down just in the course of minutes, seconds, a day, whatever. So the green is compassion, and that is our heart area. So that will be going into that today. And then the light blue is our speech area. And speaking truth, speaking in sync, and compassionately in sync with how you feel and what you're seeing, but compassionately, and if you really do need to speak. And then our crown chakra, our violet, and that is divine holiness. That sits right at top of the crown of the head. Okay, so with that, before we begin stitching, and here I'll just show you quickly before we read the affirmations. This is what it's looking like. I went back to the red, and I did some horizontal stitching, and this is what I love about the ancient method, Sashiko stitching. You do not need to worry that this is crossing, you know what I'm saying? Every single, I'm sorry, I did the vertical stitch, but it doesn't have to perfectly cross your horizontal stitching. You see that? Now, if that's something that's really important to you, you can do grids. Absolutely, you can do grids. But what we're doing the chakra, And you know, people talk about this visible stitching being mindfulness stitching. So the cultural art of it truly is Boro, Sashiko, and inspired stitching. Because as we know, the authentic was in the ancient times of like the 1400s and actually thousands of years ago. So what I'm going to do, so I am, when you do Boro, when you do Sashiko stitching, so the Sashiko stitching, the stitching is what creates Boro. Boro in essence, hi, how are you, Jellystone? So the Boro in essence is meaning the mending, repair, reinforcing. So just want to show you, you see how I'm grabbing three or four stitches, and you can grab more than that. If you're making tiny stitches, see, you can grab more. So I'm not doing the tiny stitches, I generally don't. But I do like the idea of the smaller stitches and you actually go into your meditation or your zone or your creative place very, very nicely with the small stitches. You see the small stitches. And so if some of you are not familiar with chakra, the yellow, I'm just going to put this in front of me so I can stitch and talk. I looked up I can make up my own meditations, but for the solar plexus, the yellow, right here, we're working on this area of meditation right now with yellow. Some of the affirmations they give us, because we're talking about, so I'm just going to recap, we're talking about the chakra meditation of confidence, empowerment, enlightenment, okay? So with that, the solar plexus confirmations from this may be A1, this may be AI, let me just double check, make sure. Yes, this is an AI overview. I almost kind of want to get somebody, maybe this one, Spirited Earthling, solar plexus chakra affirmations. So this site is called spiritedearthling.com. And so it talks about, here we go. Some of the affirmations they give us is I stand in my power. I stand in my power. Now I'm going to tell you, I said this yesterday, and I wonder if I can get this a little bit closer so you can see. I'm trying to turn this so you can see me stitching. But the angle of this pocket is a little bit difficult. But, so yesterday I was talking about this particular chakra made me think of what wonderful affirmations in our society if people are being bullied. Now, a lot of people have the confidence and they do know how to handle the bully. Or they know how to go and stand up and advocate for someone who's being bullied. But many times when the bullying begins, it throws a person, or usually in our kids here, right, can throw them off, and or a young adult, like even in college, believe it or not. It's so sad to think of that. But okay, so when I pull this through, you see, I just give it a little tug. And the reason I do that is just to make sure all the stitches are nice and firm. So anyway, the chakra meditation is I stand in my power, I am strong, I am enough. Some of those might be difficult for people to interpret when you say like I am enough. That's pretty profound. I am strong. That might be difficult for someone to say if they're not feeling strong. But you know what they say, the more you repeat it. I am not a chakra expert by any means. But when I do my artwork, I'm going to be honest with you, I can't just, and I'm going to come back to something on this. I cannot just do it without, for me anyway, I've got to have some meaning. Now that's a very controversial thing that I'm saying, because it can be, because people would say, well, wait a minute, doodling is free association, and there's no real meaning there. But there is. What I mean is, when I say meaning, what I'm saying is, for me, I want to be, let's say, I would like, yes, I would like some history on whatever it is I'm doing. I would like that. I would like to know, even doodling, I would just like to know where it comes from. And yes, I know it's an artistic creative expression. It for sure is. And when you take and you create art, it's all yours. That's when you create it. After it's created, it's left up for interpretation by anybody else. But this yellow for empowerment, you, in my opinion, right? If you use phrases that are meaningful to you, okay, it's much stronger. So I stand in my power, you know. That really, for me, that just kind of lifts me up. Just even saying that just is very uplifting. And so the yellow stitches that I'm doing, I am lifting the pocket when I get to a certain point. And the reason is that for part of this pocket, I have decided to sew it closed. And that's just because I'm trying to make the pocket a little bit more shaped, you might say. And because it was kind of so big that the top part of it was just kind of falling forward. Okay, so now some other affirmations are, I am the embodiment of inner peace and confidence. So, you know, as you're going along, that might be a wonderful thing to be thinking about. I personally like to have the words or keywords written down in front of me, and just having it written in front of me helps me think about it just a little easier. But yeah, I'm the embodiment of inner peace and confidence. So how do you want to go through your day? Do you want to be a peaceful person, or do you want to cause unrest to those around you, and be known for that? Do you want to have confidence? I would say some of this, okay, which is why they have the repetition here. It really does, I believe, in all my experience and all my studies, really require practice. And because if you say it one day and then you don't come back to it, you're going to lose it, and you may be struggling in some area. And guess what? It may be the same area that you were once visiting, and figuring out how to develop better the area of confidence. So maybe speaking up at the right time, or speaking up kindly or appropriately, whatever it means for you. Okay, so now the tail that I have here, I'm just going to tie that lightly. And you're going to see when we put the green, I'm going to string a green here to get this ready for our next row. We'll do a little bit more yellow. Now you notice the green I chose has a little yellow in it. That's what you're seeing. So that's a little about empowerment, enlightenment. I just like to have that mixed in with that green. And I do like to be compassionate towards people when I speak, and in my everyday, let's put it that way. Okay, so let's just show you here. Now I'm just going to hold this up so you can see how big this pocket is. This is the Japanese utility apron. I could almost put this on, but I'm not going to right now. Okay, so this part I closed because this, like I said, is so large, you see? It's so large. But it's open all the way down to here, and then here it's closed. So, there's no symbol meaning there. I was going to close it up before we did the chakra. Oh my goodness. Okay. So what I'm going to do is continue, maybe I'll put the camera down so you can see some of the stitching going on. That make it a little easier. And you can hardly see the yellow, but it's there. So what I am doing, I'm being careful with this because I have the straps, and if you're not careful, you sew those straps down, because if this is not folded out all the way in the area clear. So let's see another affirmation for yellow chakra, confidence area is, I am free of limitations from others. So, and keeping that in a positive light, it goes on. There are no blocks. This is essentially what they're talking about. There are no blocks and fears I cannot overcome. In other words, you're free from the limitations of those fears or whatever is in your way. Challenges are positive opportunities to grow and improve. So if you have a challenge in your life, it doesn't necessarily have to be something that is causing issues. Maybe it's something that helps you grow, right? Maybe it's something that actually helps improve your life. So I'm just going to keep this down here so you can see, because when I hold it, now you typically do hold it, but you're not able to see. So you see how many I'm gathering? 4. I have done 4 stitches, and what I'm doing is pushing the needle through. I'm not pulling it like embroidery, because this is not embroidery. This is sashiko stitching. So then I continue, and now here I have to be careful because, oh, see, I meant to stop here. So I just absolutely have to pull that out. Not because it's crooked or this and that, but because this is the amount of space going up vertically that I want to close. And I want to close it because I'm just trying to get the pocket a little less floppy. So we'll do that again. So now I am doing, I'm working in my top layer of fabric, and I am doing, see, yeah, you can still see that. I am doing maybe 3, 4, maybe 5. We'll do 5 stitches, and then you push the needle through. And what I do is put it, and I just put it down, and I just pull a tiny bit on it to just to get it a little bit snug. You might say, I want to make sure the stitches are snug. Okay. So now what we're going to be doing, oh, let me get this. Okay, let me do another few little meditations with you as we're doing our yellow. So, another one, again, this is from, let's see here, this is from spiritedearthling.com. That's what I'm reading from. And now, I'm sorry about this angle. This is, but I know you're stitching on your end, and hopefully enjoying your stitching. So another meditation or affirmation is, I am enthusiastic, confident, and persistent. I let go of mistakes and failures and my fear of them. Fear is a big thing. You hear that coming up again and again in affirmations because it is such a common thing, and it creates anxiety, right? It can create anxiety. And the world is, there's so many things that go on in the world that can, if we hold it in our mind, it can really affect us, right? Like, when you read the news, or some people are advised to not even look at the news nowadays just because it's that difficult to hear some of these things. I mean, what's on the news nowadays was not even allowed on the news when I was a kid. And now you're seeing explicit, things that are very unpleasant. You're hearing things extremely unpleasant. And, but they're real newscasts. So to let go of the fear, to be strong in your path, to walk with no fear through each day, one foot in front of the other. Take one step and then the next step. And let's see what else Spirited Earthling gives us is, I am capable of accomplishing my tasks and responsibilities. So again, that takes, sorry about that. That takes, let me just get that. That takes confidence to complete your tasks. It takes confidence because you need to believe that, yes, you can definitely, you have the ability to do your tasks. Okay, so that make sure I don't have anything underneath there, because this part of the apron, I'm closing in this much of the margin of the pocket. And then I'm going to leave my tail. Well, let's see, maybe we'll do another row coming up. Yeah, so I want to, it's really hard to see the yellow, but I want to finish up the thread that I have. It'll probably bring me halfway through this row, but I'll go that direction, and I want to be mindful of this particular, I'm kind of going backwards here for me, but that's okay. There. Now what I need to do is be mindful that I am coming into the pocket and working the top layer. Because you have a pocket. Now, the other way you could do this with your pocket is take something like this, take your batting, and just simply put it in there so you don't, so it's like it's already raised. It's a little reminder for you not to be sewing both the front and the back if you're just trying to. And the other way is you can certainly decorate your pocket before you even put it on. Now the only reason I did this way is because I wasn't going to decorate this pocket, and I decided to do it because I got the wonderful request to visit the world of meditation, which this type of sewing, Goro Sashiko inspired, is so appropriate for. It wasn't always done in a slow meditative way back in the day, in the ancient days. These families were working in a very hurried way because they were mending garments that maybe their loved one, who was a fisherman or farmer or something, he needed to be out in the elements the next day. They needed to have that patched. So it wasn't necessarily that they were, like we are, enjoying our decorative time. So, okay, so that's the yellow. That's as far as it went there. And I'll continue the yellow after. So now, for green. Now, what I'd like to do is just take a moment and put that down and look up for you and I'll put this for you, the green some affirmations for green chakra. And green is the heart, and it is the compassionate part. So these are just some AI ones. I forgive myself and others. Forgiveness is a huge one with the green. I trust my intuition. I am centered and grounded. There's a lot of them here. I'll just read them off and then we can get into the spirited earthling and see what they give us. I am worthy of abundance. My heart is filled with love. And we don't always feel that. So I think a meditation in general, if you're positioning yourself with love and compassion, it's there and you have the general feel and stance, and that's where you want to come from. And you may run into challenges in this world. I am open to love. I am worthy of love. I allow myself to experience pleasure. I love myself unconditionally. So those are some of those. Let's see. Gratitude is another one that's associated. Let's see. Gratitude, the life blog. Okay, let's choose this. So this is a website. It's called Asana, A-S-A-N-A, Asana, at home. And this is the green heart chakra meaning, color, healing, explained. So they're giving us, maybe they'll give us some affirmations here. Or more keywords. And let's see here. Okay, so this is lovely. I kind of like these right off the bat. Some of the affirmations for green are, I find love everywhere I go. So remember, green is your heart chakra. The next one is, I deserve love and being loved. That is one I'd like to kind of elaborate on. Just because of the field, I was in the human services field my entire life. And I will tell you something that a person will break down over. It can just make them immobile, is feeling like they are not loved, feeling like they are not worthy. And I remember as a kid, and actually all adult life too, my mom would say this thing. She'd say, and the whole family said it actually. They said, pat yourself on the back because, and they would like say it in jest because they'd say, because no one else is going to do it. But what they were saying is give yourself credit, be kind to yourself. So when you are balanced and you're kind to yourself, then yes, you can be kind to others. So I'm going to put the camera down again so you can see me sewing. And so that's the chakra green. And you see my green does have very light green and then a darker green, variegated green. Oh, where did my green go? I think it fell. Yeah. Green. Okay. So with that, I am again lifting. I wanted to sew this part of the pocket down really good. And now I'm just doing the top part. So I'm lifting it, you see. And I am just simply doing my sashiko stitching, and I am pushing my needle through. That's really important because this particular fabric I'm working with, this is not cotton, this is a blend, and it's a blend where it's allowing the needle and the thread to flow through beautifully. But if you have a little bit tighter woven cotton that's recycled or whatnot, it may not. So you want to kind of keep that in mind, that when you're doing with your needle, you are pushing it. So you're not pulling it, you're pushing it, because also the tip of it may not be visible. It may not be visible. Some experts, like I said, they work in not just how I'm doing it, but they work in, like, if I can show you here, the very top, like very top layer of whatever it is you're working in, like this is woven, so they're working in the top layer of that piece. So it's a much more intricate way to be working. And you know, I was thinking of getting this. Some people use the magnifying glasses. Like they're just really big and they're just kind of sitting over your work. So you can do that too. And that just allows you to do a little more intricate work. And so yeah, compassion. So some of my own thoughts on compassion is, I believe today, more than ever, we need to be, yes, compassionate, but we need to be grateful for the little things. I know that sounds cliche, but the country is kind of a little upside down right now. And if you stress out, right, you can stress out very quickly with factors of fear, maybe not being able to get in the status, whether it's financial, school, work, whatever it is. If you can't get to the status or get to your goals quickly, you want to be mindful, in my opinion, as to why, that it's not all, you know, it's factors around you, okay, factors around you influence. They may create perceived obstacles, or they may be real obstacles that you need to align your life with and know how to navigate through this world. I say compassion is the number one tool to getting through this world with peace, because it allows you to do forgiveness. It brings you to gratefulness. It lets you help people. You look at people in a different way. You don't look at them like you're aggravated with them, or like they're in the way. They're not in the way. They belong here just like you and I do. So when you're in the grocery store, remember that. Oh my goodness. So, okay. That is my green. Look how now the yellow, you can see the yellow starting to pop a little bit. I need to do a lot more yellow stitching, but the green is just lovely. Okay, so with that, I think I will continue with the green and in my own meditative state, and and go on other platforms with it, and because I need to do that too, and maybe just share it. But I thank you so much for being with me today. I hope that you continue your beautiful meditation, and I hope that you're enlightened, and with that, love and light.